class and comes in the next day and asks the teacher, did I miss anything? Okay, and the poem is the teacher's response to that question by the student. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to read it. Did I miss anything? Nothing. When we realized you weren't there, we sat with our hands folded on our desks in silence for the full 2 hours. Everything. I gave an exam worth 40% of the grade for this term and assigned some reading due today, on which I'm about to hand out a quiz worth 50%. Nothing. None of the content of this course has value or meaning. Take as many days off as you like. Any activities we undertake as a class, I assure you, will not matter either to you or me and are without purpose. Everything. A few minutes after we began last time, a shaft of light descended and an angel or other heavenly being appeared and revealed to us what each woman or man must do to attain divine wisdom in this life and the hereafter. This is the last time the class will meet before we disperse to bring this good news to all people on earth. Nothing. When you are not present, how could something significant occur? Everything contained in this classroom is a microcosm of human existence, assembled for you to query and examine and ponder. This is not the only place such an opportunity has been gathered, but it was one place, and you weren't here. Okay, so how would you describe the tone of the poem? Someone's raising their hands, but I can't see their face. I think it's Maya. Maya? Sorry? What? Page 4. Maya, what's the tone?
She sounds like annoyed and she's being sarcastic.
Yes, very good. Annoyed, sarcastic. What else? Sudharsan?
She's a little humorous, like trying to be funny.
Excellent. Humorous. I was really hoping you guys would pick up on that. Okay, good. So it's sarcastic, but it's funny. It's humorous. All right, good. Now turn to page 14. You're going to analyze the poem a little more closely. And you are going to answer questions 1 to 4. I'll give you a little bit of time, and then we'll take them up. Okay? And I have to walk to the door to turn the lights back on.
Miss, which questions is it?
1 to 4.
Okay, thank you.
Miss, I had a question. Uh, for number 2, it says that we need to create our like the ironic subtext. That can be what we think she means, right?
Yes, so the ironic subtext is like the underlining meaning, right? So this is what she's saying is the literal text, but the subtext is this is what she's really saying. This is what she actually means.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, I have to do attendance in Trillium. Samir, are you here? Samir?
Yeah, I'm here, Miss.
Okay, listen, when you're not here for attendance, first of all, class starts at 1 o'clock. So if this is online, it's the same as in person. You're expected to be here at the beginning of the class, which is 1 o'clock. Second of all, if you are late, you have to let me know because I was about to mark you absent. Okay?
All right, yeah.
Sorry, Miss, I had a question. For 2B, it says, in what other situations might someone rely on verbal irony? Do we need to choose a specific situation or just in general?
You don't have to answer that.
Oh, okay.
Just 2A is good enough.
Okay.
Well, you can answer the first question. Why does the teacher deliberately use verbal irony? Okay? But you don't have to think of situations where you would use verbal irony. Japhanie, you only have to answer the first part of 2B, which is why does the teacher deliberately use verbal irony? Okay? Is anybody done? Everyone's still working? Almost done? Okay, I'll give you a few minutes. Are you guys done? Anyone? Alan,
No.
you done? No? Judharson, you done? No?
Almost.
Okay. Okay. Rather than a complete sentence. So instead of saying you missed nothing, it's just a sentence fragment, nothing or everything. Why is a sentence fragment more effective? Why do you think?
It could be effective because it's straight to the point and it could catch someone's attention, make people want to read on.
Very good. It catches your attention, makes you want to read on. Why else? Let's say I had the sentence like this. It was cold, period. Dark, period. Chilly, period. Dark, cold, chilly. Those are sentence fragments. They're not full sentences. It's just one word with a period. What does that do?
It conveys a tone for a stanza.
Very good. It does convey a tone. Okay, very good. And that's why the writer does it too, because in one stanza the tone is exaggeration, right? Hyperbole. And then the other stanza it's understatement, right? And so these sentence fragments are kind of emphasizing the toggle between understatement and hyperbole. Okay, but people also use sentence fragments to emphasize something, right? When you have one word and a period, it emphasizes that word. So it emphasizes the word everything. It emphasizes the word nothing. Okay? All right, good. All right, number 2. Oh no, 1B. Except for a period after each sentence fragments, this poem uses very little punctuation. Capital letters and line breaks indicate the end of a thought, but there's no punctuation at the end of sentences, particularly sentences at the end of stanzas. What effect does this use of punctuation have on the meaning of the poem? So why do you think that there is no punctuation at the end of sentences or stanzas? Why do you think? Anyone want to venture a guess? You can't be wrong. It's poetry. That's what I love about it.
Well,
Hold on. Alan?
so I thought it's more effective when there isn't a period, so that there is an effect when there is one. Because when there's a period after the sentence fragment, so like nothing or everything, it creates more dramatic effect when they pause and they're not pausing anywhere else.
Okay, very good. So it adds dramatic effect to those words that do have a period. Excellent. Why else might there not be punctuation? Samir, did you have something to add?
Oh, no, Alan already said it. I was gonna say something like that.
Okay. Any other reasons? Siddharthan, what'd you get?
I would have said the same about dramatic effect.
Dramatic
Like-
effect.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about the words? So there's dramatic effect for the words that do have a period, but what about the words, the sentences that don't? Why might there, what does a period do? Why do you have a period in a sentence? Why do you have a period? Maya?
Because it ends the sentence, so when there isn't periods, it makes it like sound like a continuous, I guess, like speech.
Excellent observation. Okay, when you have a period, it ends the sentence. What is a sentence? A sentence is a thought. Okay, so when you have a period, it ends the thought. So because there are no periods, it indicates that there's more that the teacher could say. Okay, there's more the teacher could say, and it also leaves it open for the student to think about what the teacher said. Okay, so it's like the teacher isn't finished. There's more he could say, and also it leaves it open for the student to think about what the teacher said. Okay, for each stanza, paraphrase what the teacher actually says, the text, and what the teacher really means, the subtext. There's always a subtext in poetry. So let me go back to the poem. Here it is. We'll do the stanza by stanza. All right, number 1, nothing. When we realized you weren't there, we sat with our hands folded on our desks in silence for the full 2 hours. Jason, what is the subtext? Where's Jason?
Oh, I'm here, miss. I'm here.
Okay.
Miss,
What did you get for the subtext?
Oh, subtext. I can't start the class without you, so I waited for your arrival.
You think this is what the teacher really means?
Oh, okay. Sorry, miss. I got a bit confused.
That's okay.
What makes you think that you are so endowed that I will keep the class from learning just because you're absent?
Yes, very good. That's what the teacher's saying. The world makes you think everything would stop just because you're absent, right? So basically, everyone who comes to class is important. We carry it on as usual, you know? It's not like class stopped because you weren't here. All right, second stanza. Everything I gave an exam worth 40% of the grade for this term and assigned some reading due today on which I'm about to hand out a quiz worth 50%. Obviously, the teacher's being sarcastic. And he didn't really give an exam that was worth 40%, and he's not really giving a quiz that's worth 50. So what is the teacher really saying? What is the subtext? Chelsea?
The teacher is basically saying that because you skipped class, you missed out on like a whole bunch of lessons that she planned or like that she taught for the day.
Very good. You missed out, right? You never know. Okay, maybe I didn't give an exam worth 50%, and maybe I'm not giving a quiz today worth 50% on everything I did yesterday, but you never know. You might have missed a stunning opportunity to show your knowledge, to learn something new. Now you've come to class significantly unprepared. Third stanza, nothing. None of the content of this course has value or meaning. Take as many days off as you like Any activities we undertake as a class, I assure you, will not matter either to you or me and are without purpose. Jasmine, what is the subtext? What does the teacher really mean? Obviously, she's not really saying that nothing in her course is important.
She means that class is important and you can't just be skipping class whenever you want. There's a reason for everything you learn.
Yes, exactly. And she might be saying that, okay, so maybe every single day is not like the lesson to end all lessons, but you could have missed something, and a person with an active mind finds significance everywhere. Okay, so you could have missed something. There's always an opportunity for learning. All right, stanza 4. Everything. A few minutes after we began last time, a shaft of light descended, and an angel or other heavenly being appeared and revealed to us what each woman or man must do to attain divine wisdom in this life and the hereafter. This is the last time the class will meet before we disperse to bring this good news to all people on earth. So obviously this really didn't happen, right? What is the subtext? Gabriel?
That
Gabriel?
Hello?
Yeah.
This means that this just because you missed the one class that wait, I'm not sure what this means.
You're not sure what that means? Okay. Kian, what you got?
Anything, because I'm not really sure with my answer, but like anything good could literally happen, and you wouldn't be here to like witness it.
Very good.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Excellent. Right? Something good could have happened in class. You missed an opportunity. Maybe I would have said something. Maybe something would have happened that could have changed your life. Maybe you missed something good, and you weren't here. Maybe there would have been something I said, something I did, something we discussed that changed your life, that changed your perspective, and you missed it because you skipped class. All right, 5, nothing. When you are not present, how could something significant occur? Tasia?
Miss, I didn't complete that question.
Why? Why didn't you complete this question?
Because I didn't.
All of this question?
Pardon?
All of the question?
All of the questions?
All of number 2?
No, I only did one.
Tasia?
Like one. I only did one of number 2.
Okay, it's not optional. If I assign 1 to 4, I mean 1 to 4. You didn't finish. Okay. Amy, what is the subtext?
I think that the teacher was trying to ask him if he thinks that just because he wasn't at school that nothing happened in class.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like the same as the other stanza. She kind of repeating what she says, right? Life goes on. You weren't here, but we carried on as usual. Okay? And everything contained in this classroom is a microcosm of human existence, assembled for you to query and examine and ponder. This is not the only place such an opportunity has been gathered, but it was one place and you weren't here. Okay, what is the subtext? Actually, there's not that much subtext in this particular stanza. Maya Career?
She's saying that you can miss opportunities if you don't attend class.
Yes, very good. Right? So even though the opportunities may not seem very grand at the time, you may have missed an opportunity, a teachable moment, things like that, right? Okay. Number 3, why are some stanzas in this poem indented while others are not? Explain why the poet chooses this pattern. And what are the literary techniques? So why are some stanzas indented and others are not? What do you think? Harsimran?
I wasn't sure as to why they were indented. I think I said that they might have been indented to show like the actual meaning for the second part of it.
To show the subtext?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe. Why else? Take a guess. Gian?
I said that it was probably because it tells like the reader or which character, like what their point of view is.
Okay. Does anyone realize that some stanzas, so all the stanzas that are not indented begin with the word nothing, okay? And those stanzas employ understatement, right? When she's being sarcastic, but understatement, she's making less of something. Then all the stanzas that are indented all start with the word everything. And this is where she's using hyperbole or exaggeration, right? So she's doing that. So the indented to show that it's understatement, and the ones that are so not indented are understatement, and indented are hyperbole, right? And going back and forth between understatement and hyperbole is what gives it the sarcastic tone and the humorous tone. Okay, and number 4, what kinds of images are used repeatedly in stanzas 1, 2, and 3? What are images used in stanzas 4 and 6? And why is there a change in this type of imagery? Okay, so what kind of images are used in stanzas 1, 2, and 3? Sudharsan?
In the first 3 stanzas, it talks a lot about the classroom and the course in school. In stanza 4 and 6, it talks about like religion and like angels and human existence and stuff.
So yeah, very good. Actually, you hit the nail right on the head, Sudharsan. 1, 2, and 3 are basically regular classroom images, and then the other ones are religious imagery and philosophical imagery. Okay. And what I want you to notice is that the tone of the poem completely changes at the end, okay? So let's look back to the end of the poem. She says in the last stanza, everything contained in this classroom is a microcosm of human existence, assembled for you to query and examine and ponder. This is not the only place such an opportunity has been gathered, but it was one place and you weren't here. So she's not being sarcastic. She's not she's not being funny. She's not employing humor. She's not exaggerating or employing hyperbole, which shows that she's a reasonable teacher and she cares about the student. So the tone changes at the end. Okay? Did you enjoy that poem? I like it. Okay, we're going to do another poem now. Turn to page. Let me see, what page is it? Page 2. All right, so page 2, follow along. And it was at that age poetry arrived in search of me. I don't know where it came from winter or a river. I don't know how or when. No, there were not voices, there were not words or silence. But from a street I was summoned, from the branches of night, abruptly from the others, among violent fires or returning alone. There I was without a face, and it touched me. I did not know what to say. My mouth had no way with names. My eyes were blind, and something started in my soul, fever or forgotten wings. And I made my own way, deciphering that fire. And I wrote the first faint line, faint, without substance, pure nonsense, pure wisdom of someone who knows nothing. And suddenly I saw the heavens unfastened and open, planets, palpitating plantations, shadow perforated, riddled with arrows, fire and flowers, the winding night, the universe. And I, infinitesimal being, drunk with the great starry void, likeness, image of mystery, felt myself a pure part of the abyss. I wheeled with the stars. My heart broke loose on the wind. Isn't that a beautiful way of describing the effect of poetry? Okay, now, you are going to do questions 1, 2, and 3A and B. Okay, so write that down because you might not have time to finish in today's period. So 1, 2, 3A, and B. And I think it's also on page 14. Actually, no, I changed my mind. Just do 1 to 4. 1 to 4. The poem is on page 2. Japni, why don't you know that?